Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of April 1st. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hi.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today's Thursday, which means it's time to give into our obsessing about parenting details big and small. And today's obsession, well, this past month's obsession, is a big and continuing one, never ending, the college application process.
Oh dear. And more specifically, the college acceptance process,
and
which
the
is
college acceptance
means mystifying.
It is anyone's guess as to what's happening out there.
Even after the great shame incident of finding out that you could buy and cheat your kid in if you had enough money, they're still remaining inscrutable.
Outrageous what's happening out there. I mean, these kids. So most of the college decisions have come back.
Mm-hmm.
So including the Ivies, they were yesterday, well, when this records, that would be last week.
Yeah.
So,
yesterday as we record this.
Yeah. So almost all of them have come out. My daughter's just waiting on one more, and that's the one in Canada. Hello, UBC, chop chop. So it's been crazy who's getting in and who isn't. And let me tell you, the wait lists, I mean, kids are getting waitlisted like no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Even since my son applied, which was 5 years, so almost 6 years ago, the whole landscape of the process has changed. It's just anyone's guess. It's literally like they put your number in a hat and pull it out. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of agenda, but it's certainly not transparent to the kids, because it just makes no sense as to who they're accepting and who they're not. It just, kids with, and these are kids with, they've done all APs and they've volunteered and they've worked. And what more can they do?
That's the frustrating thing. It's not just, oh, boo-hoo, you only got into 1 or 2 colleges. It's they've pitched their entire lives for at least the last 4 years to giving every molecule of their being towards being accepted by any and all colleges they want to go into. And now it's like, no, that was wrong.
Done. Well, and
sucker.
They've been told that, you can, your university potential, and you can go to university, and you can go, you have those great stats. And even when they write their PSAT in 10th or 11th grade, depending on what they get, then the colleges start sending you out marketing materials like, so depending on your PSAT score will depend on which universities send you materials. So if you get a higher score, then you get more top-tier universities sending you material, and you're like, oh, wow, I could actually be a candidate for this school, right?
Yeah, look, they want me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Man. That is low.
So it's so bait and switch, I'm telling you.
That's terrible.
These kids have been working so hard, and at least in the public university sector, the privates, I think Kristen's friends have had a little bit more success with, but public universities are just as expensive these days anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all the same. So
that's awful.
So as of today, she's been accepted to one UC and one out-of-state school out of 11 that she applied to.
Wow.
This, she's got good stats.
Right.
So
somebody should instigate a class action lawsuit against the high school for promising things that were obviously not deliverable.
No, it's crazy. So, and I'm not saying, there are just so many, and my daughter, she does well, but there are so many kids who do even better. And they've given up their entire high school careers for the sole purpose of getting, all those AP classes and getting that high GPA, and they're not getting in to these schools.
Yeah.
It just seems so unfair.
Yes. I'd be really interested if anybody ever does research on why this is. Is it just that schools are pushing so hard for this stuff now that there's just a glut of candidates? I'm trying to think back when I was in school in California. I know I was competitive and I wanted to be accepted to all the good schools, and I wanted to be accepted to more good schools than other people, which was never quite the case, but I had pretty good. But everybody got into UCs. That was pretty much, if you were like on the honors track, that was a given. What you wanted was to get into the fancy private schools. But the UCs were like your nice fallback. I had no idea it was, I don't think it was that competitive then. And certainly some of the state schools weren't that competitive at all. And I don't know, here in New Jersey now, I don't hear a lot of chatter about it because, of course, my kids weren't on that elite college track. But most kids, I think, seem to get into the state school if they want to. So I don't know what was going on with the UCs that's causing that, but stop it.
What's going to happen now is that these kids who have been waitlisted and denied UC schools are going to move into the state schools, and that's going to make their stats go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So then the kids who have been in state schools are going to get bumped down.
Absolutely.
It's just a whole chain of events. And UCs are not a guarantee anymore. Just not. It's like applying to an Ivy.
And which is just really a shame because, I think from what I have heard that, the UCs are admitting people from out of state and out of the country, and that is so that they get more tuition dollars because those people are paying more than the California residents, even though this system is supposed to be there to serve kids from California.
Yeah, totally. And I think they're also holding seats for transfer students, which is fine. Kids do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see the international thing because their fees are like quadruple what our kids pay.
Wow.
Well, and even just out of state U.S. as well.
Yeah. How discouraging.
It's so frustrating and discouraging, and even just the sheer cost of it all. These UCs are pretty much the same price as a lot of the privates too, so it's like, what's the point of even applying to a UC anymore?
Yeah, how much does it cost to apply? Is there a big
it's $100 a school.
Jeez.
So I think you get like 4 or 5 for free.
Yeah.
And then anything above that you pay. But then the kids apply to a lot because it's like, just
because it's such a crapshoot.
Oh, sure.
Totally.
How traumatic.
So, it is. It's been a really tough month for these kids. Everybody has to go through the experience of rejection and whatever. But when you're kind of told that if you dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah, that I think is, obviously the way colleges are doing things is shady, and there needs to be more transparency for sure. But I also think the way the schools are selling colleges is not helpful. If you had to do it over again, would you tell her to have a different sort of high school experience knowing this?
Yeah. You know what? And I actually have to say that we did do high school in somewhat moderation because she not course loads with AP classes. And that's just simply because she's not that type of student. She's more of a hands-on kind of, she's a computer student, right? Like she's a computer. So she did limit the amount of APs that she did because we knew that a fine line.
Yeah.
But I definitely, these other kids have busted their 6 AP classes.
That's not healthy.
Have more state schools.
Yeah.
As opposed to the focusing on the UCs, I would have had her mix it up.
Right.
So,
well, I think too, I don't have much experience with the pressure to do things, although I know that there are kids who did feel that pressure to take those most advanced classes. But like I think I've talked to her about the fact that our high school, like midway through my kids' time there, just suddenly decided they were no longer going to have anything less than college prep courses. All the general grade level courses and the shop courses went away, and everything was going to be college prep. All our kids are college material. Everybody has to go to college, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only the fact that there's not necessarily jobs out there for everybody, but not everybody has the money or the interest in going to college. Why has there suddenly become this obsession that, if you're not the top of the class, you still have to be college prep. And if you are the top of the class, you have to take, the most advanced classes possible and get the most ridiculously inflated GPA to get into the absolute top college. Yeesh. It doesn't sound like fun.
Exhausting.
Do we have to put that much pressure on them at that point in their life?
Yeah. Yeah, well, apparently we do.
And then apparently they all want to go to the top colleges, and then there's not enough spaces for them, and so they wind up not getting a return on that investment.
Well,
it's discouraging.
I think, at least at UCLA this year, 111,000 students applied for 5,000 spots.
Oh, man.
And UC San Diego was not far behind. So
that is not sustainable.
Yeah. They need to give these kids other choices, other options.
Yes.
Like, where are the schools? Where are the polytech schools? Like, where?
Yeah.
That aren't private, that are affordable, that kids can access. And there's the community colleges, which are great.
Yeah.
But let's provide schools that are a little bit more, I don't know, geared towards us.
Yeah, and community colleges are great, and they're a good value. But if you've spent your entire school career feeling like you are less than if you are not pitching yourself to go to Yale and Harvard,
right?
Community college is just way an unacceptable fall down from that. You can't show your face if you go there. So there needs to be more, institutional support of that all the way along.
Yeah, well, and that's so true. I mean, you would not ever consider going to community college.
No.
And, if you're an AP student, forget it.
It would be just dreadful.
Yeah, that would not work. And so, because we've even said to Kristen, like, well, you can always do community college for a year and then transfer into a UC because they have more spots for transfer students. Your chances are better. And she's like, no. Seriously?
Yeah, we got to get rid of that perception. Well, clearly something needs to be, something needs to change. Many things need to change. But, if lots and lots of kids are having this extremely, unrewarding and unsuccessful experience, maybe their parents, who obviously are pretty motivated too, will push things.
Yeah. How about you, Catherine? Anything? Because your daughter's coming up on it. Are you getting a sense of what's happening?
She's just listening to this and shaking her head.
Well, the thing
get
with
her wine out.
Yeah. The thing with her is, she has taken a few AP classes, but like you said, she's really not focused. I don't want to say she hasn't focused on academics, because she's taken advanced classes and APs and she does well in school, but she doesn't have the volume of that I think would be required for any of these places. And she doesn't really have the extracurriculars outside of skating, because skating takes all of her time. And she does want, at this point, she does want to skate in college. So that limits the type of the particular schools that she's interested in quite a lot, because she only wants to go to places that have a certain kind of a team. And so that's good. The good news is that they are generally state schools, where I think, from what I've researched, she should have a good chance of getting in, because there's state schools that are out of our state.
Right.
But then she'll have to make the team, otherwise what's the point of going there? So that's where she's going to face her challenge, is getting on the team at the school that she decides she wants to go to.
Aye.
So
stress all around.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be over here stressing about kids getting jobs, and y'all can have your
Right.
college stress. But that's it for today's Round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout-out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you will find us at Roundabout Chat.